Today we're going to walk you through configuring your personal settings in PCG's iVECoder. This is a necessary step after account creation. Once you're set up, you really don't have to visit this menu option in the future. However, as always, there are exceptions to the rule, but we'll defer that discussion to the end of this tutorial with a couple of quick tips. The primary reason to customize settings is to establish iVECoder's pricing for your area. The default is Nevada, and you will need to change that to your specific geographical location. So let's log in. Here we have an empty canvas, and iVECoder is waiting for your scenario of codes to be adjudicated. To get personal settings, we click on the Settings menu option to bring up the current configuration. There are several options on this screen, and we'll talk about them all. But first, let's define our location for iVECoder. Here we select our DME state. Let's say our practice or facility is in Madison, Wisconsin. Clicking anywhere on the box brings up a list. You can scroll or type in the first letter of the state. I'm going to hit W, and it takes me to Washington. Hitting W again takes me to the next state beginning with W. One more time ought to do it. Hit Enter. Good, we have our state. Next, we need to change Gypsy values. This is the geographical price cost index CMS has established for all states and territories. The field boxes are grayed out because we don't have to manually enter information. They are shown for visual verification. We just need to click on the Select Gypsy button and make a selection. The easiest way to find our location is to use the Filter field to isolate the area. I mean isolate because some regions are broken out by county or city, and CMS area identifier numbers are duplicated. This is especially true for California. Best way to start is to use the first two letters of the state your practice resides. So I'm going to put in WI. Note as I type the letters any matches appear in the list. Highlight on the year you want, and click Use Highlighted Code. Now Facility. Not necessary for practitioners, but if you're a facility, you'll need to select a wage index. This is required to calculate OPPS and ACS prices. Just like the Gypsy screen, I will put in WI, pick 2019, and then Accept. You do have two options to update your default ACS and APC. These are part of the exceptions we will discuss at the end of this tutorial. Right now, we will use the defaults for Wisconsin. Next, let's do a quick review of modifier percentages. These are the default percentage values used when iVECoder prices a claim. Some are concrete values and some are not. While modifiers 22, 52, 53 have base values, they may vary from payer to payer, depending on the claim documentation. The payer typically starts with these base values and will adjust upwards or downwards. For example, take modifier 53, discontinued service, for a laparoscopy code such as 38572. If all the nodes are removed but the internal iliac nodes, then a payer auditor may apply a 5% reduction and not the 50% shown here. Note you would and should bill your regular fee. Let the payer decide. However, be sure to review the payer's EOMB reduction documentation and appeal if necessary. Now is a good time to save our default settings. Click on Save. Okay, we're moving to General Settings. If a box is unchecked, then iVECoder assumes you do not want the option activated. Medicaid subscriber. The option tells iVECoder to use Medicaid payment rules. Ops ASC mode. When checked, this tells iVECoder start in facility mode after login. Otherwise, iVECoder starts in the professional mode. Line item dates of service. When checked, iVECoder gives you an optional date of service range to override the default single date of service. CMS payment percentage. This tells iVECoder how you want the price calculated. The default is always 100%. Many users reset this value to their current suggested UCR, their health plan contract rates to audit EOB reimbursement, perform what-if modeling, real-time contract negotiation, billing system or EHR setup, especially at the beginning of each year as annual rates change. That covers the iVECoder default settings. Now we will look at why one would be changing these default startup settings on the fly. Let's circle back to the Gypsy settings. You know iVECoder defaults should be set to the geographic location of your practice, but if your practice traverses state borders, then reimbursement can vary widely. Thus, you'll need to change Gypsy locations frequently. For example, an OB has a private practice in Dothan, Alabama, which privileges at a local hospital and works 2 days a week with an OB group just south of Dothan in Marianna, Florida. The OB's default setting would be for Alabama. We'll set Alabama as our new default Gypsy for now. Let's get a global deliver code and hit the Start the Magic button to get pricing. In Alabama, the global delivery would pay $1,955.76. When the OB performs a delivery in Marianna, Florida, we can reset the settings, or we can dynamically look up the payment from within iVECoder code details. Let's look at dynamically resetting the Gypsy to Florida. From CPT details, you can click on Pick Gypsy. We'll filter on Florida, pick 2019 rates, and hit Use Highlighted Code. Be aware once you dynamically change a default setting, iVECoder will use these new values for all reimbursement rates until you log off. When you log back into iVECoder, your original default settings will be in effect. There are a lot of numbers shown, and those are explained in another tutorial. The values in green will be the calculated payment. Here we see the expected payment is $2,241.17, compared to Alabama's rate of $1,955.76. This is a $285 difference. The implications can be impactful. One other value you may be dynamically changing is the OPS and ASC wage information. I will enter in a sample facility bill. Click on Start the Magic button, and here's the final pricing based on our default settings. To change wage, you can manually enter in values, or you can bring up selection window for OPS or ASCs from the main iVECoder screen. I'll do a quick pick for Florida. Click on Start the Magic button again, and here's the new facility pricing. This covers iVECoder configuration settings along with a few quick tips. One final note, the date of service affects the displayed pricing. In fact, date of service affects everything about iVECoder's pricing and code rule adjudication. If you change the date of service to a previous year or quarter, iVECoder will use that time period's Gypsy, APC, ASC conversion rates as well as any code edits. This concludes the Personal Settings tutorial. Your takeaways are: 1. Set your default settings as soon as you activate your account. 2. At any time you can reset defaults or quickly change Gypsy or wage values. 3. Changing the date of service alters pricing. 4. iVECoder edits such as CCI are date sensitive. We hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions or need additional assistance, then fill out the support form under Menu Options, Support, Help, and one of our coders at PCG Software will contact you. Have a wonderful day.